This is how a project initiation document will look like, but not necessarily every project initiation document will look like this, but this is one of the uh, uh, samples of project initiation document. So here we go. The project name, code, date, who has prepared it, who's the project leader, who's the project sponsor, and we will be discussing what a project sponsor and what a project leader's roles are. Lead designer, lead contractor, version number. So here we go. These are the approvals, the authorizations, and to whom will this be distributed. And here we go, the contents, how it starts, the background, the project definition, project organization structure, communication plan, controls and reviews, business case, project plan, quality plan, management of risk uncertainties. Not necessarily every project document will have these headings, but this will give you an idea of how project initiation document will look like. Then appendix A, B, C, D. So here we go. This is the document, and you can find many samples available on internet. So you can go through many other examples of these type of documents. Well, if you have a big project, you will have more formalized plan available for that project. And for a smaller project, it will be less formal. So what are the areas of a project plan? What areas does it cover? The very first area that every project plan will have will be an overview of the project. Now, when we say what the overview of the overview project is basically, you can say it's an executive summary to telling about the whole project. So it will be telling about what the project is all about, what are the objectives of the project that it is going to cover, how long is it going to take, without going to further details, which task will be taken when. So without going into these details, the time period that this project is going to take, and the overall amount of money that is expected to be spent on this budget. So it will be basically an executive summary, or you can say the summary of the whole project. And after the overview, it will include the project resources, the people that will be working on this project, and other resources that are expected to be used. But when we say project resources, we usually mean the workforce involved, the different people, the team involved in this project. Then the detailed plan. When we talk about detailed plan, it's actually the whole schedule of activities involved in this project, the timelines, the responsibilities of individuals, who is responsible for what, and which tasks should be done first and which will be followed, and the sequence. And in this particular area, Gantt charts are also used. And if you're not aware of Gantt charts, these are the charts which is used in project management. These charts usually help the company to place different tasks with different timelines, and then later on these charts can also be used in controlling the tasks by putting the actual tasks in there with the budget tasks. And it will help the management to compare whether the project tasks were done within the specified time, or they were delayed, or they saved the time. So the detailed plan, and then the evaluation plan. For example, if the project was supported by an evaluation based on net present value calculations, the IRR, the payback, or any other ratios. So the evaluation plan, which will include figures, which will include both financial and non-financial evaluation of the project. Basically, this area will include the reason why this project, or the base of the acceptance of this project. And the dissemination plan. The dissemination plan is basically the plan of how to disseminate information regarding this project to different stakeholders at different stages of the project. So this dissemination plan will actually be telling to whom the information will be reported, what type of information will be reported to stakeholders, and when that information will be reported during the duration of the project. Then there will be the exit and sustainability plans. This is basically the completion area where the completion tasks are carried out. So how will the completion take place? How will the project be completed, and how those resources involved in this project will be taken back to their usual tasks, or how they will be assigned to new projects. So this will be the exit plan, coming out of one project peacefully and then moving towards the next project. Team members, what types of roles will be are required in a team? The first category will be specialists or technical experts. For example, if you are undertaking an IT project, you will need IT experts. So you need to have IT experts. Maybe they are from within the organization, or you may hire a consultant as an expert who will give their consultancy on this project. So the specialists or technical experts, representatives of different functions or areas of your organization, which will be required, or which will be there to represent their departments or functions. These will be merely there for representation, so that they have communication with their own functions. Monitoring. For monitoring, you need to have a monitor who will be looking after the progress of the project and will make sure that all the tasks of the project activities are carried on a timely basis. Change manager. Uh, when you start a project, there will always be a plan for the project, and there's high chance that during the project there will be changes that will be required, but not every person will be allowed to make those changes. So you need to have a person who will actually be responsible for identifying the changes required and assessing the required changes before they can be implemented. Then every task, every project will have some problems where they will encounter problems, different types of problems. So you need to have a person who's skilled enough to solve problems. The problems may be of different types, like there may be conflicts between team members. So you need to have somebody who can solve these types of problems, or whatever problems are expected. You need to have a person who is expert enough, experienced enough to solve the problems. So these will be the different types of roles that team members will be performing. Every project will have a project manager, or you can say project leader. And this project leader or manager will be responsible for detailed planning. You'll be able to identify resources required and try to obtain from the management. Team building. Now, when we talk about team building, it's basically to make the chosen team work together without any conflicts. Try to make as much cohesion as possible and keep them motivated towards the objectives. Communication, you will also be involved, you should also be responsible for communicating with different stakeholders during the project. Coordination, you will also be responsible to create coordination between different project activities, between different functions involved, and whatever type of coordination is required, this project manager will be responsible for that. Monitoring and control, the overall progress or the overall monitoring will be the responsibility of project manager. Problem resolution and quality control. So this is what a project manager will be responsible for. A project sponsor, the basic the basic role of a project sponsor will be to provide resources, um, and also um, he's accountable for the resources that will be invested in the project, and he'll be responsible that no resources are wasted, and also he's will be responsible for the achievement of the project's objectives. You can say he will simply be a person at the top of a project manager, and he will be actually dealing in the matters that the project manager may fail to deal with. For example, if there is a conflict which the project manager is not able to to solve or resolve, the project sponsor will be the one who will be doing this thing. And this project sponsor is usually somebody from a senior level management. So that's why you see this decision maker, he's also a decision maker. So decisions which will be outside the scope of a project manager will be basically maybe basically taken by this project sponsor on behalf of the organization. So he's basically he will be doing by and large the same tasks as project manager, but only in case project manager fails to do so. So he'll be somebody on top of the project manager, and because of his place in the organization, his seniority in the organization, he will be able to deal with those problems that project manager may fail to deal with. Reasons for project success: project sponsorship at executive level, good PID and a business case, strong project management, the right mix of team players, good decision-making structure, good communication, team members are working towards common goal, that is, they don't have any goal conflicts. So I think these are very obvious reasons, but they're not the only reasons. That the list may go on depending on the type of the project, but these are the very general reasons why projects may get success, or below these, failure of these uh, failures of existence of these factors will lead to a project's failure as well. So once a project is completed, then there will be a post-project review. But you can see there are two similarly looking like things. One is a post-project review, and the other is post-implementation review. Now, post-project review is basically conducted after the completion of the project. Once the project is completed, and this review is basically about the conduct of the project itself, and not the project it has delivered, a product it has delivered. The basic aim of this post-project review is to learn from the process of project management. For example, if this project was for 6 months, what were the learnings or learning outcomes of the project management process? What we learned from the experiences during this process. This is basically for this. It's not basically the type of product that we have given at the end of the day. It's basically about the process, about the learnings from the process, so that these learnings will be capitalized in the future projects, and improvements could be made so that the next project will be done in a lot better way than this existing project. So basically, a post-project review is about the learnings from this process. I will just give you an example. I don't know how many of you have gone for Oxford Brookes University program, the BSc Applied Accounting program. The BSc Applied Accounting program is basically a research and assess project, and it includes two areas. Which one area is the RAP, Research and Assess project, and the other area is the skills and learning statement, SLS. The skills and learning statement is around of 2,000 words, whereas the research and assess project is around 7,000 to 7,500 words. And in the 2,000 words SLS, skills and learning statement, the candidate is asked to come up with his experience, come up with his learning and the self-reflection during the process of conducting this research and completing this research analysis project. So the candidate is basically expected to tell about his experience with the difficulties and the problems that he came across while conducting this research, and how he dealt with it, and what he learned from this whole process. So similarly, a post-project review is basically to review the whole process and look at the learnings from the project. But the post-implementation review is basically something about the product itself, and it's basically the feedback that one is going to receive from the users or the beneficiaries of the project. For example, if you were implementing an ERP system in an organization, then once you have implemented it, then you will be taking the feedback from the users and see what type of product did you deliver? Did it meet the expectations? Did it meet the objectives? So that's called post-implementation review. So these are the two types of review that will be carried after the end of the project. So the first one's objective is to learn from the experiences gained during the process, and the second one will be to check how effective the project was in delivering the expected results. So that's it. This was project management, and I hope I have explained all the areas of project management.